Everybody, this is Mithril Zenith, and this is the strategy that I used to S-rank Lynn's Gambit. So, real quick, the immediate play might seem very similar to what I did in my initial run, but basically from like turns 2 and onwards, I make much better decisions. This map is really all about knowing what's coming and how to stop it. Stuff like knowing where the rockets are before they even fire is important because the rockets do not move. Even if they run out of ammo, they will not move. So real quick, what you see is me immediately capturing the cities and going for the central island because I need that economy going to make a strong forward push. I'm going to be focusing on the right-hand side with a land push and picking off all of their battleships with my submarines, not bothering to make any more, because that's a lot of money to invest for something that ultimately will only give me some limited benefit. Also, I'm moving the anti-tank immediately to the right. I'm doing the same stuff to the left as well. I position my war tank immediately so I can put the CO in it right away at the start. I position my rockets to pick off their incoming anti-tank there, and I move everything else just into a forward position. Right now I'm capturing this factory. It will prove useful in a little bit. I'm moving forward my subs, and I'm moving my other units in an evasive pattern to try and avoid the battleship fire as much as I possibly can. Build that bike there to capture that city turn 3. Capture all the other cities turn 2. And I start building some bikes on the right as well, just to force things forward and make sure I always have something to capture with. I realize, and here I'm just counting out the squares, if I can chip down their battleships first, they're going to have a harder time killing me off, especially since battleships don't have the vision to shoot at max range by themselves. So I ping away at their battleships from longest range, while I'm basically goading them forward. They start making seaplanes, but I'm able to push forward as well. The infantry are now moving forward after doing their capture things. I fire the flare forward just to get a sense of what's going on. It looks like they're just holding back with their 2 tanks, so I'm okay to move forward. I leave that other tank in the forest just to guarantee that the enemy AI doesn't cheat and see it. And at this point, I could kill off one of their battleships entirely, but instead, I do what's probably the smarter play, and just ping down them to low HP so they're less useful. I, in fact, go so far as to use my tank to chip them down. This forces them to either retreat them to repair, attack with little effectiveness, or waste their turn merging, which is just as good, if not better, than completely destroying their battleships, because then they're left with fewer battleships at lesser HP. There's no damage that gets wasted. I build another medium tank just to continue my forward push. And as you can see here, their battleships are pinging away. They send seaplanes out, but there's really not too much else that they can do. The landers that they send on the medium towards the middle island are annoying, but I'm able to position my units in such a way to prevent them from actually capturing any buildings in the center. Right now I just send my units forward. I can't quite reach their cruisers, so I'm just going to content myself with destroying the rest of their battleship fleet. I can destroy cruisers, carriers. I can destroy their seaplane with a single round from a cruiser, so I do that. This is potential gridlock over here, but what I do is just see, okay, they have a rocket, a medium tank, a regular tank, and a couple mechs. I can destroy the mechs from my position. I can't quite shoot the rocket. The rocket is at max range for my war tank, but the war tank has Lin in it, so I'm not really that worried about how much damage I'm going to be taking. Instead, I just ping away that lander right there. I debate moving the war tank back, but I realize, well, they're not going to be able to kill me, so I'm just going to move forward and just push forward with everything I have to make sure that the enemy is slowed down as much as possible. I debate where I can send that gunboat to. I debate what to build over here. I think what I end up doing, yes, I build a medium tank with the idea that I can kill the infantry with the medium tank and then I can just load the medium tank onto a lander and send it northwards to help in the push, because my push should reach that point, if it's anywhere solid enough, by the time I have the medium tank ready. In the meantime, the enemy is moving forward. They shoot with their missiles, dealing only like 30% to my Lin CO war tank. They choose to attack my mech instead of trying to capture, so I'm fine with that. I'm moving over to capture this factory. I can kill their lander, so I do, while still moving forward. Their cruisers are annoying, but I'm now in a position to safely build my temporary port. I can't quite do much else right now, so I'm just going to make sure my subs don't run out of fuel or ammo, and keep moving forward. That's just going to be the plan for quite a bit. I'm going to move down to resupply. I'm going to attack with my rockets here. Flare up one last time just to see where everything is. It looks like they're holding the same position. That means I can just move in and blow up their rocket, and boom. I now know that they have one rocket left that's in the forest, which they will not be moving under any circumstance, so I just charge my army forward. I build another bike down here just to keep the push going. I start moving the infantry upwards to make sure I'm able to capture, and I build another medium tank just so I can load it into the lander, because I can get 2 units in there. They combine all of their forces to blow up my CO war tank, which is fine by me, because the CO's done her job, and I just need to charge forward. The 2 tanks, the war tank and the medium tank, are annoying to deal with, but I'm able to scout with my rig. Don't worry, I don't actually build the T airport there. I just accidentally misclick. But unless you finish it, you don't use up the materials. I kill their rocket, and now it is so much easier for me to move forward. I'm just going to chip down their war tank and move my units into the fog of war. Meanwhile, I'm blocking with the flare gun and just sending some infantry over here just to make sure I can capture that naval port, as well as they'll be joining me in the north. Load up the medium tanks, finish that temporary port, and now I'm scouting just to see, okay, I can blow up the cruiser with a battleship. That's the only reliable way to kill cruisers, is battleships. I scout and I see, oh, I can blow up their carrier over here. I'm like, okay, what else can I do? I need to refuel my submarine, so that's a no-go. I have this low HP cruiser, which is not really doing anything. I keep sending it back and forth, but I can't park it on a port until I capture the port, so it's just gonna be at low HP for a long time. The enemy rocket and seaplane combine to destroy my cruiser. That's okay. They use both their tanks to attack my medium tank, but aren't quite able to kill it. There's going to be a lot of close calls where the enemy's just not quite able to do what they need to do. They try to move their carriers forward, which is good news for me because I can destroy them. Now I just need to worry about these 2 seaplanes on the map, and they are going to be very annoying. Luckily, I can hold out on T-ports, which it does appear that they block vision. Either that or enemy seaplanes just don't have any vision because he'll run into them next turn. Ping down the enemy from where I can with my rockets, move forward with my bikes, move this other rocket forward while I'm just figuring out, okay, well, what do I need to do to be safe from that other medium tank? And it looks like I just do this. I choose to move forward with my rig there into the forest to make sure I know exactly what they're building. I position my rocket to have a good shot against it, and right now, honestly, my forward push is doing very well. I've destroyed their fleets. I'm encroaching on the first outer factory, and it's only 8 turns in. So I am making fantastic time. I debate on whether I move forward, but I decided to just produce a seaplane right away because they only cost 15,000, sorry. 1,500 is an infantry. Figuring out what else to do here. I decide to use my subs to scout their ports. I move my battleship to where it can more easily assist on the right if I need it. I do the dumb thing and suicide my first carrier. I think I probably should have just merged them, then they'd be somewhat effective, but I do weaken their seaplane, and that might have ended up coming in handy. Their medium tank is perfectly positioned for me to snipe it with my rocket. I actually take my gunboat around just to shoot theirs, just to, I don't know, because I want to kill it off. Because I don't want them to have any units alive that are stragglers. I kill what's on their factory. I move all my units to start capturing. I capture that factory and defend my capture unit as well as I possibly can, just so their seaplanes don't pick it off. And I even load this bike up and charge down. I'm double checking the range of where I know the rocket to be. And I come down here. That's basically all I can do this turn. I just move that tank to repair. It's not going to really be a factor, and I probably could have just used the money better. But it doesn't really matter, because at this point I'm not producing anything major. I think I make one more seaplane and maybe another medium tank, and that's about it. I've captured their cities and factory. Now I'm just figuring out, okay, how do I move in on their rocket without getting completely destroyed? Bait sending stuff around. I just resupply my gunboat to blow up theirs. I love that you can just do that. Once more, there's some little finagling with ranges and debating, should I move my flare gun? No, I need it stationary. I can only really move one square away, and there's no point in moving one square. So I just leave it there. Meanwhile, I charge forward with my bike just to chip down their infantry. I count some tiles and figure out I can position my medium tanks at that point without drawing aggro from the rocket. So I just move everything forward. And as you can see, the enemy AI will very much like to use their seaplanes as best as possible. I check the range of their cruiser so my seaplane doesn't get immediately shot down, and just produce another one. Yeah, and from here on, all that's left is just make sure that my subs don't get destroyed, so I move them back to get supplied. They use both their seaplanes to destroy that rocket, but now their seaplanes are out of ammo and out of fuel, almost. They're just going to be kind of annoying blockers for the next turn or two. So right now, I'm in a good position. I can charge down their rocket. Sadly, I can't kill it this turn, but I can definitely weaken it. I can kill their cruiser with a combination of my battleship and my subs, so that's fine. I'm debating, okay, now what can I do? I just move in one of my tanks to do as much damage as I can, because tanks deal more damage than seaplanes, just by a little bit. The medium tank firepower is just too good, but I am able to move forward, taking out their infantry, and now you can see they only have 6 units left. They have these 2 seaplanes, which are about to crash and burn, that one cruiser, the second rocket, actually technically both rockets, and then whatever unit they just made from their factory. That's all that they have. And so I realize, well, if that's all they have, then I might as well just move forward and route. I built another medium tank. I don't think I end up using it, but it's good to be prepared, I guess. I probably could have stopped making units like 2 turns ago and it wouldn't have mattered, aside from the seaplanes. But like I said, I just like being prepared. I also made that medium tank just to make sure that I had something to put my CO in, and I think that actually matters. Yep, and we're on turn 10, and we're basically 2 turns from winning, because we can't quite close in on their rockets yet. But I just chip down what I can. I'm like, okay, should I use my subs to finish it off? I end up using a seaplane, actually, because I know I can guarantee a one-shot kill with that. And it gets the seaplane out while I can still move the carrier forward. Now with the rocket left over, I move my bike to scout. They built an anti-air to deal with the seaplanes. Well, that anti-air ain't going to do anything against the medium tanks. And the seaplane comes out. I can't kill their infantry, so I just decided to kind of just leave it alive while I go for a capture, which should distract their AI enough to want to kill it off right away. I put my CO in a medium tank, move it forward, and I position that rocket there, which just so happens to be that infantry's available spot to shoot at the city. So by doing that, I allow the rocket to shoot the infantry. Not that it was really needed, but it feels good. I double check to make sure they're not building anything out of their ports, and that's pretty much the rest of the mission. Now all that's left for me to do is pass a turn, get shot by their rocket, get attacked by their infantry, kill whatever they make, which is another anti-air because the AI freaks out seeing that it can't deal with my seaplanes. And I'm like, cool, scout out their rocket, take it down. That's Lynn's Gambit done in 12 turns with an easy S rank. Could have been a little faster apparently, but solid across the board. And that's that. Thank you for watching. This is Metal Zenith signing out.